Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Fallout Tale of the Wastelands. Wir sind hier in Rivet City und gucken uns hier ein bisschen um. Letztes Mal haben wir hier den Markt abgegrast. Kann ich Licht anmachen? Besser ist wahrscheinlich. Und ja, wir gucken uns natürlich jetzt auch noch die weiteren Orte an. Wir haben ja erfahren, es gibt... Oh, wo sind wir denn hier? Im Rumpf gibt es noch so ein bisschen was. So ein Teil, wo es wieder ein bisschen gefährlicher wird. Da gibt es aber nochmal Infos über die Geschichte von Rivet City. Das gucken wir uns natürlich an. Was haben wir hier? Mercenary Squadboard, aber das ist halt... Ja. Die müssen halt täglich bezahlt werden. Ich habe jetzt viel Geld für Munition und den ganzen Kram ausgegeben. Ja, gucken wir uns hier mal ein bisschen um. Harkness.
Is there a problem?
Ich habe gehört, ihr seid so... Oder du bist in so einer Art von Stadtrat.
Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power.
Ah, okay. Was können Sie mir über Dr. Lee erzählen?
She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship.
Okay, danke.
Carry on then.
Danke, danke, danke. Okay, also... Marketplace. Da waren wir schon. Bridge Tower. Weatherly Hotel. Capital Preservation Center. Muddy Rubber. Und das Science Lab ist unten. Ja, ich würde sagen, wir machen erstmal hier weiter. Hier ist die Klinik und das Hotel. Systematisch Hier ist abarbeiten. Empty Room. Ah, vielleicht. Kann man hier auch irgendwie keine Probleme. Alles cool. Ja. So, Science Lab. Wir sollen sie nicht stören. Und es gab ja anscheinend ja auch Probleme mit den Wissenschaftlern. Und okay, jetzt wird's aber hier. Wir gehen mal weiter Richtung Science Lab und Rivet City Klinik. Okay, hier ist die Klinik. Dr. Preston, hallo.
You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston.
Hilfe brauchen wir nicht. Was kostet denn Radiation zu heilen?
Sure can. Quick and easy. Only 100 caps.
Oh. Ich habe keine 100 Kronkorken.
Then I can't help you. Sorry.
Tja. Okay. Dieser Ort sieht ziemlich einfach auszurauben aus. Wir sitzen ihn mal, ne? Oder wir duzen einfach alle. Hast du irgendwelche Probleme mit Dieben?
Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them.
Das ist alles nicht so richtig interessant hier. Wie sieht's denn aus mit der Geschichte von Rivet City?
Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here.
Schade. Dann gehen wir mal wieder.
Take care of yourself.
Hier können wir sicherlich auch noch mal Zeug kaufen.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
Da ist ein Patient.
Ship's water isn't much better.
Okay, und hier geht's zum Science Lab. So, schauen wir doch mal rein. Oha, hier geht's erstmal schön runter. Okay, da geht's zum Science Lab. Da wollen wir hin. Die leere Flasche, die darf man mitnehmen. Okay. Den Aschenbecher auch. So, dann gucken wir doch mal, ob wir hier vielleicht noch ein bisschen was herausfinden können.
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake. The technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
Time is wasting.
Da ist Dr. Zimmer. Perfekt, mit dem wollten wir doch sprechen.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
Das kommt drauf an. Worum geht's denn?
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
Vermisstes Eigentum? Welche Art von Eigentum?
How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Ach krass, hier werden tatsächlich die Synths das erste Mal erwähnt. In Fallout 3, die dann später ja in Fallout 4 dann eine große Rolle spielen, was ja dann im Commonwealth stattfindet. Cool. Das gefällt mir. Interessant, aber was hat das jetzt mit mir zu tun?
You're helping me retrieve this android, aren't you? I've tracked him this far. He's out there somewhere, in the capital Wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it.
Ach, interessant. Wir können jetzt tatsächlich auch einen Synth, der ist gut. Erzählen Sie mir, Zimmer. Ist Ihre Brieftasche genauso groß wie Ihr Mund? Oder Mundwerk?
How quaint. Of course you'll be rewarded. I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
Natürlich. Wir werden versuchen, den Synth zu finden.
Excellent. Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
Okay. Note edit missing android und self-determination is not a malfunction. The replicated man. Ja, interessant. Cool. Also ich muss mehr darüber erfahren, womit ich es hier zu tun habe. Was ist denn jetzt ein Synth?
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically.
Okay, irgendwelche Ideen, wo ich diesen Synth finden könnte?
Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings.
Okay, ist dieser... also ich nenne ihn natürlich jetzt nicht Androiden, sondern Synth, ne, weil es halt mit Fallout 4 so ganz gut passt. Ist dieser Synth davon gewandert? Nee, wenn dieser Synth davon gewandert ist, Warum sollte er ein neues Mindset, verdammt, jetzt fällt mir das deutsche Wort nicht ein neues Bewusstsein und ein neues Gesicht haben wollen?
Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him, I want him. End of story.
Ja, das ist ja auch genau das, worum es dann in Fallout 4 ja auch mitgeht. Warum sollte sich ein Synth schuldig fühlen? Komm schon, Zimmer. Was erzählt sie mir nicht?
By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now?
Okay, also, wenn andere ebenfalls entkommen sind, warum bemühen sie sich dann um diesen hier?
This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. But A321, it will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable.
Okay, mal gespannt, was das für einer wird. Also, erzählen Sie mir mehr über das Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished.
Okay. Wissen Sie etwas über die Geschichte hinter Rivet City?
Looks to me like a giant boat ran aground and a bunch of savages moved in. History lesson over.
Okay, der weiß nix.
Of course you do.
Okay.
Lay a hand on Dr. Zimmer and I'll snap your neck like a chicken bone.
Okay, ist das vielleicht auch ein Synth? Weißt du irgendetwas über die Geschichte von Rivet City?
No, thank you. Please leave Mr. Zimmer and myself alone.
Okay, ich schätze, ich gehe mal.
Then go.
Ach, nett. So, wen haben wir hier?
What do you need?
Ist Dr. Lee genauso schlau, wie alle sagen, dass sie es ist?
She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here. Though that's not saying much.
Ich suche nach meinem Vater. Haben Sie ihn gesehen?
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
Gute Idee. Was wissen Sie über Zimmer?
He's from up north. He was bragging about how great it is up there. Yeah, great. They can't even keep tabs on their robots.
Dann gehe ich mal.
Bye.
Ja, bye. So, nette Leute
So
hier.
noisy last night I could hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
Wir haben eine Wackelpuppe für Intelligenz gefunden. Ja, cool. Wir kriegen 5 extra Skillpunkte, wenn wir Magazine lesen.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last
Speichern mal
week.
eben.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
Ach, eine dürfen wir nehmen.
Ship's water is
Eine
much
ist
better.
okay.
If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
So, ist hier Dr. Lee jetzt mal aufgetaucht? Dr. Lee!
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people.
Ah, ist schon okay.
It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him.
Was? Sie hat unseren
You're
Vater
James's
gesehen?
son, aren't you?
Was?
What are you doing here?
Was? Was? Hier sollten wir sollten eigentlich noch woanders was finden zu unserem Vater, oder? Egal. Sie kannten meinen Vater? Haben Sie ihn gesehen?
Well, yes, of course I do. Don't you know who I am? I suppose James never told you. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your father many years ago. Your mother as well, in fact. You'll have to forgive me, this has all been very stressful. What with your father suddenly showing up here after being gone for so long. You have to understand that we put all of that behind us. Project Purity, our work, all of it. We've moved on, even if your father hasn't.
Ich versuche meinen Vater zu finden. Haben Sie ihn gesehen?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
Ich habe die Vault verlassen, um nach ihm zu suchen.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
Entschuldigen Sie. Können Sie mir vielleicht sagen, wohin er gegangen ist?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
Wo ist denn das alte Labor?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Okay, cool. Quest Edit, Scientific Pursuits. Also wir haben jetzt hier eine neue Spur für unseren Vater gefunden. Mega. Okay, das wissen wir schon. Können Sie mir mehr über meine Eltern erzählen?
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
Ich habe meine Mutter nie kennengelernt. Was können Sie mir über sie erzählen?
Yes. Your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
Warum ist meine Mutter gestorben? Was ist passiert?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
Ich verstehe. Ich bin sicher, Sie haben alles getan, was Sie konnten.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Ja, wie war mein Vater früher?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again.
Ist natürlich jetzt auch die Frage, was Project Purity, also das Projekt Reinheit, sein soll.
Okay.
Bin ich mal gespannt, was da noch alles rauskommt. Was für ein Ort ist Rivet City?
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
Erzählen Sie mir mehr über das Projekt, mit dem Sie mit meinem Vater zusammengearbeitet haben.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
Alles. Was war der Zweck dahinter?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone.
Ach.
Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Aber eine gute Sache. Warum hat das nicht funktioniert?
We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment.
Warum haben Sie aufgehört, daran zu arbeiten? Was ist passiert?
You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
Ah, interessant. Die hingen also auch mit dabei.
Okay.
Oha. Gibt es irgendeine Möglichkeit, wie Sie mir helfen könnten?
Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors or your chasing after him. I'm sorry.
Schade. Ah, komm schon. Gibt's nicht irgendetwas, womit Sie mir helfen können?
I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you.
Ah, 5 Stück gleich, nicht schlecht. Ich möchte gerne ein bisschen mehr über Sie wissen.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
Okay, was ist das Labor? Was machen Sie dort?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
Was wissen Sie über Zimmer?
That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team.
Was wissen Sie über die Geschichte der Stadt?
I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days.
Okay, dann wissen wir alles. Tschüss.
Good luck finding your father.
Dankeschön. Oh, wir haben eine Spur. Haben wir die andere Quest eigentlich dann auch noch? Das ist neu. Galaxy News Radio. Ja, doch, das müssen wir auch immer noch machen. Okay, cool. So, self-determination is not a malfunction.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not a malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshalling the Retention Bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
Ja, vielleicht können wir den sogar als Gefährte gleich kriegen. Das wäre natürlich genial. Vermisster Android. Zimmer, der aktuell in Rivet City ist, sucht nach einem Androiden oder einem Synth. Er glaubt, dass der Synth achso, genau, dass er sich ein neues Gesicht zugelegt hat und einen Erinnerungswipe gemacht hat. Also komplett Zurücksetzen der Erinnerung. Bennon's Request. Bennon has asked me to search Secret Holmes' room to see... Ah ja, genau. Da müssen wir mal gucken, ob wir da reinkommen. 10 Pennies Request. Ah ja, genau, das hatten wir gemacht. Kill Jack, das haben wir nicht gemacht. 1000 Caps. Naja, hier sind wir erstmal durch. Ist das eigentlich auf der Karte? Local Map. Doch, genau, hier haben wir uns, glaube ich, soweit umgeguckt. Wir werden dann natürlich wieder zum Arzt gehen und ihn nach dem Synth befragen. In der nächsten Folge. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Bis dann.